Football. Let's go.
From there, we can move on into the Bowl 7. And
Yes,
I've been
sir.
waiting all week to hear what you had on your Bowl 7, Mr. Casey, because as if you can remember, folks, the Bills wasn't on my Bowl 7 last week. So if you're watching looking for Buffalo this week, you might as well go ahead and stop tuning in now because they're not going to be here this week on my end. But for the folks' sake, Mr. KC, I'll go ahead and let you start us off, man. What is your Bowl 7 for the week?
It's gotten a little funky. It's got a little spiced up. It's gone changed around. This last 2 weeks of football has really kind of jumbled it up for us. It was starting to get a little stale. It looked like it was just going to be the same teams. But this is a different list this week. First off is the Kansas City Chiefs. No question about it. Homer pick. Homer takes. They first place in my heart and first place on this list. They'll still be there until they start losing. Give me a reason why. Number 2 is the Miami Dolphins. Look, get out of the way, folks. Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Tua, an okay-ish defense. Look, they are first place in the AFC East. Give these people the respect they deserve. Number 3, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. You had an off night. I understand it. You had a slide from 1. You can't lose to the Commanders and stay at 1. I won't allow it. I only dropped you to 3. It's okay. Number 4, the Kings of the North, Minnesota Vikings. Look, you coming out here falling on the Bills like that? Get out of here. You deserve it. Give it to me. Number 5, I'm going to go with the Bills. Look, I know they've fallen off in a lot of people's eyes. This is still a real quality team. 3 weeks ago, this number 1 team in the football league. And now, a lot of questions, but they're sliding. But I don't think they're off my list. Okay, they're not there yet. Then we're going to go number 6 with the New York Giants. This quality New York Giants team doesn't make any sense how the NFC East teams. And number 7, I'm going to give it to the 49ers for our special guest, Frank. Look, not only do we have a 49ers fan on here and they're making the list, they actually deserve to be mentioned in the top 7. This is one of those floating spots that can change every week, but they've shown in and out that this is a tough defense. They're going to win the West unless the Seahawks mess it up somehow, which I don't really see. But this is a team you always have to watch out in the playoffs, and I'm excited to see them.
Man, oh man, you and these Buffalo Bills. Ooh, okay. Let me just dive right on that, folks. They're not that good either. So the number 1 team in the NFL, folks, are the Kansas City Chiefs. There's just no doubt about it. They got the most quality wins. Looking at the schedule, they're leading the league in scoring. With a virtual new cast on almost offense and defense, they're still running the league, and it's almost scary to see what this team will look like almost 2 years down the road if everything stays the same. Number 2, I have the Minnesota Vikings, the Kings in the North. They are the best team in the NFC. Yes, number 2, the best team. They're 8-1, Mr. KC.
They're the second best team in the NFC behind the 49ers.
He's got the second best team overall.
Hey, we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that one. Number 3 here, I got excuse me. I got the Miami Dolphins. I actually did put them in the top 3 this week. I feel like they actually finally earned their way up there. By part thanks to the Commanders and the Jets helping them get that boost to get there, but they're there. Number 3, can't argue with it. Number 4 right now, I actually have the Baltimore Ravens. This is a team who wasn't even on my list last week, but like I said, Lamar is turning into form, man. They've quietly gotten back to 6-3. They're looking good. I think they keep this train rolling. What was that one? That was number 3. Number 4, I've got the New York Giants. Just speed past them real quick. New York football's back. I've been telling you, I'm not going to keep telling folks. It's just what it is. Despite the loss, number 6 I got here is the Dallas Cowboys. I believe that they're going to keep rallying. They're going to make their case to be a wild card spot here, unless the Eagles can keep losing. Because, like I said, I got Dallas losing this weekend, but if they don't lose too many more, they can sneak out and win that division. I can't say too much more about that. Number 6, I actually have the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, the trade that they made for McCaffrey, like really turned the offense not around, but it turned it up, so to speak. Because it was always feasible on the ground. Like I said, I thought our game with them was going to be closer than what it was. But like I said, true Kansas City Chiefs fast, we just did what we had to do. No offense on that yet. And the 7th best team that I have in the NFL right now is definitely not the Buffalo Bills. It's the New York Jets. New York football is back, and it's going to stay back. I don't have reasons to move the Jets out of the top 7. I have every reason to drop the Bills. They lost what? They're almost on a 3-game lose streak. How did
the Jets are above them in the division, so I guess
they already, like I said, they're 0-2 in their own division. Like I said, there's just no way I could put them above any of the other teams in their division that they've already lost to. It would be unkosher for me to do so. Frank, my man, do you have a particular list of who you think are the top 7 teams in football right now? And if you do,
yeah, I wrote up a top 7 for this week.
Yes, sir.
Definitely going number 1, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes just changes any team completely, makes you the number 1. If that defense starts gelling like we're starting to see, like we were saying, Frank Clark and everything showing up on the D-line, it's Kansas City is number 1. I'm going Minnesota number 2. After that Buffalo win, it's really hard not to see them. They're playing ball. They're doing well. Kirk's starting to show up a little bit. They'll probably lose game 1 in the playoffs because he blows in prime time.
Hopefully they get that bye week
right now. Yeah, we're talking about right now. And Minnesota's number 2. I have Philadelphia number 3. Losing to the Commanders is big, but that's a trap game. And we've already seen Commanders beat an undefeated team and change up the whole team's season. Still go Philly, though. That defense is still too stacked. They did sign, what's his name, Linval Joseph for defensive tackle. He's joining their team now. I don't know if they have Fletcher Cox anymore, if he retired or not, but he's always been a monster if he's still there at D-tackle.
For
sure. So that's 2 great defensive tackles there. That offense, I think they just struggled this week. I mean, somehow the Commanders held A.J. Brown to a catch. I don't see that happening much more. I'm going to go with Miami at 4. Just that offense is showing out. Former 49er coach as their head coach now, which is there's one thing the Niners coaching staff's always been good at. It is scheming for what you have on offense. Shanahan's done it.
I give them
they can play ball. So I got Miami at 4. I do have to put my San Francisco 49ers at 5. I think there was a couple real bad losses at the beginning of the year that shouldn't have been. I see them at 5. There's too much talent on both sides of that ball. Like, especially adding McCaffrey. You know, we're looking at a Debo and Ayuk as your 1 and 2. You have Kittle at tight end and a 2-headed monster now with McCaffrey and Mitchell at halfback.
Right. And you know what's crazy? Kittle's almost become the unsung hero of the offense, dude. Behind all the other guys they got going now, man. It's crazy to see how low that they really are.
Yeah. I mean, Kittle is arguably one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the NFL, and they don't even use him like that. He is an O-lineman that can run around, and that's what makes him a lot of fun to watch, in my opinion, one of my favorite players on the team. Him and Fred Warner is my favorite player on the defensive side of that ball. Yeah. That boy is everywhere. I do have Buffalo at number 6. We're looking at Buffalo as a totally different team if there's not that fumble in their own goal line. You know, we're looking at them. Vikings are now, 7-2 versus 8-1 and everything. So I'm still going Buffalo.
He didn't catch that ball on the sideline now. So that was a missed call. There was a lot of things in that. So, yeah.
I'm still going Buffalo. I'm still going Buffalo in this, or with number 6, because there's a lot of talent there. Josh Allen can keep you in any game by himself, really. I mean, this last couple weeks he's been pushing too hard, throwing too many picks. But I'm still going Buffalo at my number 6 spot. And at my number 7, I'm going to go with the team that gave you guys some trouble. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans.
No.
I think there is a great team there, great defensive line. They are one AJ Brown-esque wide receiver away from being a great team. Too bad they can't get a guy like that. Too bad. But I'm going Tennessee as my number 7. I'm a little curious about the Tannehill versus Malik Willis thing. Tannehill played good enough ball, but Malik kind of changes that whole offense.
He does.
But that defense for Tennessee has kind of become a great defense no one's talking about enough. You know, they're playing great.
Right. No, I mean, they play great. Not to mention, they get a lot of hold calls that don't get called here. I've seen a couple of articles about that. But when you're a smash mouth kind of identity team, we've seen in history that the reps tend to let you get away with more things, i.e. Baltimore, some of those old Pittsburghs, even the Saints defense at one time, before the scandal. So, we kind of see it happen. But, no, I'm right there with you, dude. That defense is stellar, dude. They're solid.
Yeah, I think they're showing out. And, Tennessee, it always just depends on what their if they can keep their game plan going. If it goes down to Ryan Tannehill and you got to pass the rock, but if you can keep feeding King Henry, you got yourself a win.
No, for sure.
That is a man playing with boys sometimes.
Oh my God, no! It's always like the dad playing football with the kids in the backyard. It's a tragedy, dude. You've never seen a grown man trash so many other grown men before. Like it's spectacular to watch, honestly.
Yeah. So that's my 7 for sure.
No, that's a solid 7. That's a solid 7. I would have slid the Bills off that list personally.
Woo! Football. Let's go.